Our favorite homegirls in Harlem are back, and the shenanigans are turned up 3 times in light of the 3rd and final season. What's good, y'all? It's Erica Vane coming to you right here on Erica Vane TV with another Harlem video. And in this one, I'm going to be breaking down season 3, episode number 1. And y'all, it's so hard to say goodbye. Okay, we're not going to do all that because this is just the first episode. We getting 8 or no 6. Y'all, I think we're getting 6 episodes. I gotta confirm that. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my Harlem content and conversations. I'm truly gonna miss these girls, and I'm really excited for them to be back on our screens. Let's get into it. Overall, I enjoyed the first episode. However, I do still have a few questions. While it did a good job of trying to wrap up some of the things and pivot some of the storylines that we had in season 2, I was still just so very confused as to like how people shifted so quickly. But we kind of get like a time jump. We get the pushing of the story. We start the episode off with Camille and Ian, who we saw at the end of season 2 decided that they weren't going to actually be together because Camille doesn't want to have kids and Ian doesn't want to give up the idea of being a father at some point. But at the start of this episode, they are effing around. They decide to become F buddies because the sex is bomb and they love each other, but they're going to just try to take the love out of it, you know, the sex with the ex without no feelings, with no strings attached. However, Camille and too quiet as kept. Y'all are 2 peas in a damn pod if you ask me. But for Camille, girl, there's always strings attached. They are having a good time. They are fucking around multiple times a day, multiple times a week, multiple times a day in the same week. Yeah, they getting in real heavy up until Ian reveals that he is actually dating other people. And then Ian decides to ghost her randomly for 2 months. Because one of those people is a childhood friend named Portia. Don't make me call Portia. That he gets serious with. And just like what Camille told him later on in the episode when she decides to crash out on his damn doorstep, girl, you going down to the brownstone just to crash out. But this would not be Harlem, and this damn show would not be a season premiere if Camille wasn't crashing out in it, right? But she told him was like, you could have just told me. You could have told me that it was over. You could have told me that you got exclusive with somebody. You could have like told me versus just leaving me hanging, having me send you click pics. Cause yes, y'all, she decided to entice him over one night. She decided to send him a picture of her. You know what? The writing on the show is so comedic and so brilliant. Like I love the way that Tracey Oliver puts words together and how the characters communicate certain things. I really crack up listening to some of the things these girls say. I never in my life heard of a click pic ever, but now I know. But she sent one to him only for him to send a thumbs up. Even then, you was probably in this exclusive relationship then. She sees you at this new brunch spot where she's at with Quinn and with Ty, right? He walks in and then they get to see him with Portia and he acts like he doesn't see her, then sends her a voice note gaslighting her, talking about some he ain't see her, but he also saw her friend staring at him kissing Portia. Yeah, you saw her. You were being avoidant. You were being weird. And part of me is like, is he doing this to make her jealous? Is he doing this to bring her back? Because I have always felt like Ian has really been in love with Camille, and it was always Camille. It's probably always going to be Camille. However, I do recognize the very real thing that is wanting to, you know, be a parent and being misaligned with somebody who doesn't. And neither one of you needed to give up that desire or that particular goal for yourself if you don't. Just because of love, not even if you don't, just because of love, just because you love this person very deeply. But when he revealed that he was like seeing other people like dating around, it didn't seem like he was doing it to try to throw it in her face. But then when you get to the point of him not being able to be forthcoming and open and honest and just like disappearing and even sending a thumbs up to her vagina pic, is like, and you kind of know what you're doing because you're making a choice to be evasive in a way that you kind of want to leave this door open with Camille, but you're also jumping 2 feet all in with this exclusive relationship with Portia on this side. And it's disingenuous, it's unfair, and it feels like there's a little bit something to it. Now while you can't predict when Camille's gonna crash out, you know that Camille's a damn crash out. So I also want to say, like, yes, he didn't know necessarily that she was gonna show up at his door at this particular moment, but it also feels like he is definitely using the way that he's handling And the communication that he is giving versus the communication that he's not giving feels very much so like rubbing it in Camille's face a little bit. Just a tad, not like overtly, but like he could have just made different choices. For us to have watched them like in the past 2 seasons and how they've grown, going through the engagement, the almost marriage to mirror, then the getting back together, like the way that they had gotten to a better place with communication and everything, they should be past this. He should be past this. So for him to be regressing to certain places, this does kind of feel like some of this is like, yes, I want to move on. I don't want to waste time, and I just want to feel like I'm progressing. But then also part of this feels like maybe he could be punishing Camille, maybe he could be rubbing this in Camille's face, maybe this could be some type of subliminal plan to get Camille to realize that she does want the whole picture with him, and that includes kids and not just sex. Because quiet as cat, while we don't see this in this episode, I could totally see Ian still having very, very real feelings for Camille and not being able to deal with it, and then ghosting her out of like, yo, I don't want to just have sex. I want to have edible random Pictionary nights and all the little goofy stuff we got to see them do last season. So yeah, that's what's going on with Camille. She also she quits Columbia, which I thought that she had did at the end of last season, which again, I was like a little bit confused with some of the things, but she like officially does it, even though Dr. Pruitt wants to extend her the offer that she was looking for in this episode, and they come to a common ground. Dr. Pruitt actually looks proud and reverent in some regard to her and agrees to write the foreword for her book. Camille is going to focus on that. We don't have any word of Jameson, but I gotta go watch the last few episodes of last season because I don't even remember what happened with Jameson. Like, I know that they had like closure, and not that I automatically assumed that Camille would double back to Jameson, but he was like also such a really good pick. So if like Jameson didn't want kids, then maybe that could have been something that Camille explored. I don't know, y'all. You over here hunching on Ian's ass, and he just sending you back through the emotional roller coasters. I mean, you could have taken another ride on Jameson if you ask me. Anyway, Angie, we don't see a ton of her in this episode. That's because she's planning her wedding or not planning her wedding. She has really grand ideas for this big production where her wedding is going to be, and her partner wants it to be small, but he got a little bit of money and he wants her to start to make certain decisions, and she wants to be in engagement bliss. Girl, I can kind of get behind like you love this man, but then also the need for the super production, yes, it's part of her personality. I give her that. But something about this when they was in the bed, that little tinge of like, girl, you don't really want to marry this man. I don't know if that's the case. I'm not putting all my money on this particular theory, but something about it in the energy just made me be like, Angie, do you want to marry this man? Or do you like the idea of being chose? Do you like the idea of being cared for, taken care of, and not having to financially worry anymore? And do you like the idea of the happily ever after? We're gonna have to find out in later episodes, because again, we don't see a ton of her. She's ducking the girls, missing out on things at the beginning, and we find out that she's been doing that for months, and she's all in her little honeymoon, Erica, what are you trying to say? Honeymoon bliss and engagement, and then she pops up a couple times to like be with the girls and support randomly. When she brought him to the club, I said, oh gosh, not her bringing this man to the club, but apparently he came and dropped her off and then left, and I was like, okay, cool, that is when it's okay. But don't bring your friend, your homie, not your homie, don't bring your man to girls night, please. Ladies, stop doing that. That is your man. Similar to y'all IG feeds and y'all TikToks and whatnot. Cool, you in love, girl, but do not start spamming us with all of this man, because I did not come here for him. I came here for you. Okay? Now Ty decided to put herself on some damn celibacy journey behind the whole I'm really into the mama, but I was fucking around with the daughter and they found out, so now I look like the trash that I am. Well, she's not trash, but she damn sure is toxic. Remember that website that exposed her? I actually like this choice of Ty. Celibacy, I think that Quinn was right with her doing it as partly a self-punishment, but also it creates a space for clarity. Like, Ty was just going 100 miles an hour, running through pussy left and right. I'm like, girl, relax. Only for her to come up with another idea for this app, this polyamorous app, and then one of the potential investor executives actually is sweet on her as well, played by Gail being Hey Gail. So they like start to spark off something, and I love that Ty is coming into it from a very honest and open and communicative place. Like, yo, I'm toxic and this is exactly how toxic I am. And she ran down all her damn whole facts, and she was like, all right, well then don't get messy. That's a choice. A word, period. And then Quinn. I think Quinn confused me the most because the complete 180 that Quinn has done or has consistently been doing, like I really did not enjoy Quinn in season 2 because I felt like her pursuit of like queer love was just like I don't know, like this little weird performative like attention seeking thing, and maybe she did have queer ideations and all of that, but it just never read genuine to me, and that frustrated me a lot because it's one thing if that's something that you're discovering about yourself, cool, but if it's just another way for you to manipulate the people around you to giving you more attention and to find or to try to tap into this well of love because you just deeply want somebody else outside of you to love you, but you have yet to love yourself, girl, you need a therapist, not a damn lesbian lover, okay? But Quinn, I like where we're starting at with her. I just don't know how we got here because it feels like it's just so rushed. Like she's just back to sensical. She's focusing on herself. She's focusing on her business. She's moving very poised, positive, and very, 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 very confident. And I'm like, girl, you was a hot ass mess last season. What happened in the meantime and between time? And I know that at the end of the season, she met this great man who was also played by her in real life husband, hey boo. And then decided that she wasn't going to prioritize that or jump head first into that, which is cool. But like, are they still dating? Do they still communicate at any point? Like, she just seems so poised in her singleness, and I kind of was hoping to see, at least with the shortened season that we have for this final season, see the journey of Quinn returning to herself and finding the true confidence and love within herself. But it seems like we're already starting at that point and she's just there. And then they match up with Kofi Cerebro. Child, that man is so fine. When I tell y'all. Anyway, she gets matched up with one of her clients' vetted friends at a leftovers party, and it's a MLB player played by Kofi. And then she winds up coming through with him for a wardrobe issue because he's going to the ESPYs. So she just looks like this powerful, poised, amazing woman. And not to say that Quinn isn't, because she is a dope girl, but she's a hot ass mess inside. And randomly, she has magically decided not to be a hot mess this season, and she just starting there. And I'm just like, okay, I guess we starting here. Overall, I enjoyed it. I cannot wait to jump into episode 2. The first 2 episodes are streaming right now on Amazon Prime Video. Let me know your thoughts on the episode in the comment section down below. Who's your favorite character? What storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most? It's your good sis, you love Talk TV with, and I'm going to see you in the next one.